Chicago Tonight with John Calloway is made possible in part by the Joseph and Bessie Feinberg Foundation.
A sharp decline in mortgage interest rates is fueling the hottest housing market in 10 years. But is this necessarily the best time to buy? Will interest rates drop lower? And are there any drawbacks to refinancing? Those answers and more on Chicago Tonight with John Calloway. This evening on Chicago Tonight, economist Herbert Neal, president of Financial and Economic Strategies Corporation, Barbara Bernardini, assistant vice president of Colonial Bank and Trust, and Kay Rasco, sales manager of Merrill Lynch Realty in Evanston. Join host John Calloway.
Good evening and welcome to Chicago Tonight. The good news is that mortgage rates are down and many of you are in a position to save money by refinancing your mortgage loan. The bad news is that mortgage rates are down and many of you are in danger of rushing into the market for a home and you may get hurt in the process. Tonight we will explore the ins and outs of this exploding real estate market. We begin with 3 short stories.
This is George Hosfeld and his wife Evelyn Lulis. They are in the market for a new home.
There you are. I was following you.
Peter and Mary Hess just bought a new home and are saving $400 a month in mortgage and interest payments. The Seguban family is happy just where they are, but through refinancing they are now paying off their home twice as fast as before.
You're going the riding lesson today, son? Are you going swimming today?
May I have your service?
Mortgage interest rates have dropped to a 10-year low, and that means conditions are excellent for buying a new home, selling your old home, or, if you bought within the past 6 years, refinancing.
We have gotten to the point where our people are working 60 and 70 hours a week, both our clerical help as well as our loan officers and branch managers.
Ron Nelson is a mortgage banker. His company, Draper & Kramer, underwrites new loans and also refinances existing mortgages. These days, residential business is more than double its weekly norm. Real estate agents are busy as well.
It's a wild, wild market. People are out frantically looking for houses. We're working 7 days a week. It's a wonderful time for anyone putting their house on the market because it's supply and demand. We don't have enough homes on the market right now for the number of buyers that we have. Now we can go in here.
George and Evelyn are able to buy a house now because lower interest rates made it possible for them to sell their condominium and afford something bigger.
And this kitchen is really, isn't this a dream? It really is. We have a pent-up demand of buyers, young buyers who the interest rates are down. They've been holding off because the interest rates were so high. And now that they are down, they are looking at their budgets and realizing, yes, they can afford a house now. Sink. You like that double sink?
Yes, I do. Dishwasher.
The house in Wilmette that we toured with George and Evelyn has 3 bedrooms, 1.5 baths, and an asking price of $199,000.
You know how big that other area is?
The master?
They are being priced higher than they were a year ago, simply again because of supply and demand. There has been quite an appreciation on the North Shore, that's all I can speak about, but quite an appreciation since a year ago this time. They have that same millwork all over.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
I've heard a lot of people with stories saying that they've gotten more than they've asked for homes, and we don't want to get taken up in the hype of the moment and do anything foolish like that. I think the important thing is to stay cool and not bid any more for a house than you think it's worth.
Last November, Mary and Peter Hess sold their home in Wilmette and went shopping for a new one.
The rates were 12%, and fortunately we did not have to obtain a mortgage right away.
And when they found the house they wanted, the Hesses took out a bridge loan so they could move in right away and wait for interest rates to stabilize.
The rates kept dropping down, and they went from the 12%, which would have cost us approximately $2,000 per month in a mortgage payment, to 9.125%, which is the mortgage that we're applying for now, and the payment on that will be approximately $1,600 a month, which is a savings of $400 a month, or approximately $4,800 a year, which, if you break it down even further, equals our utility payment, telephone payment, gas payment, electric payment, and things like that. It's quite a savings.
Mike Sagubin heard about refinancing from television and radio reports. He is a firefighter and his wife is a part-time nurse. They could handle their present monthly payments, but they want to be rid of mortgage debt by the time their children are grown.
If you got used to the principal interest payment that you were currently paying, you could now go on a 15-year loan, not pay much less, but yet you'd be saving yourself a tremendous amount of interest over the life of that loan.
I'm excited, very excited about having a new mortgage that in 15 years I know it will get paid than waiting 30 years. So I think it's a big plus for me that I'm going to have a new mortgage. It's just like paying a car.
Is it possible that this is a scenario in which everybody wins? George and Evelyn have been able to sell in the tough condo market, and lower interest rates also give them the confidence finally to afford that dream house. Mike Sagubin and his wife are happy with the house they're in, but now they are looking forward to being debt-free in 15 as opposed to 30 years. And possibly, by the luck of the draw, Peter and Mary Hess have gotten the best deal of all. They bought their home before prices started to inflate, but they didn't have to pay for it until mortgage interest rates were down.
And joining us now to discuss whether or not you should refinance your home mortgage and other related questions are Dr. Herbert Neal, who is President of Financial and Economic Strategies, Barbara Bernardini, Assistant Vice President of Colonial Bank and Trust, and Kay Rasco, Sales Manager of the Evanston branch of Merrill Lynch Realty. And Mr. Neal, how far down are the interest rates going to go? Will we continue to see a drop in interest rates?
That depends on what interest rates you're talking about.
Mortgage rates?
Mortgage rates, I expect, will drop moderately, while government rates may have reached their low point.
Why did we have such a drop?
We had such a drop because the perception that inflation has come down has finally reached the investment community, and in particular was the sharp drop in crude oil prices that increased the reality of that situation.
And how far can we expect mortgage interest rates to drop? Anybody? Let's go around the table. Bernardini?
Well, the consensus is that there will probably be some softening in the rate, but I don't think it's going to be as substantial as most of the clients I talk to on a daily basis think it will be.
What are the lowest rates now, say, for a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage?
You're looking in the high nines on a 30-year, I'd say 9 3/4 to even tickling the 10% range, and on the 15-year, possibly around the 9.5, and that would be with a standard 3 points.
All right, and how far down do you think they might? Will we see in the coming year, say 8.5, 8 3/4?
Personally, I don't think we'll go past that 9% threshold.